Joining me now with a reaction and discussion is former U.S. Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker and Mallory Staples, director of the Georgia State Freedom Caucus, and welcome to you both. Mr. Attorney General, so now lying under oath is regarded as, quote, unprofessional, not a crime, so long as a Democrat is doing it, yes?
Yeah, as I read this case from the judge, he actually is very firm, and he also pretty much says that Georgia currently doesn't have the case law for me to do what they're asking me to do. He did make all these findings of being untruthful, being unprofessional, and in fact, he even said that a stench of mendacity hovers around and continues to hover around this case. And to me, that is the death knell for Fani Willis and her office, because, you know, they're not going to get any advantage now that the government typically gets in prosecutions. And it's going to be a very, very difficult case if she continues to remain on it.
Mallory, in the ruling, the judge also said the court, quote, doesn't condone Willis's conduct during the trial or during the investigation, end quote. But she can still go on. So now in Democrats' America, the government no longer has to be of good character. In fact, it appears the dirtier they are, the more coveted and protected they are.
Yeah, this is really a horrifying ruling today, what it means, and we've seen it in other states and in the country, but what it really means is that the law is no longer blind, the law is no longer impartial, and the law is no longer based on facts. And this has been the outcry from the citizenry, the grassroots, conservatives, is that this has all been politically motivated. And Judge McAfee's ruling reflects that, I think, without question, in the fact that he was Kemp appointed, he worked for Kemp as Inspector General, he worked for Fani Willis, he donated to her campaign. This is what Americans are absolutely fed up with. And I think this is really what we're seeing is the deconstruction of our judicial system. This is the harvest on the Obama years, where they planted these district attorneys and DAs, you know, so systematically in our justice system. And again, we do not have an impartial system any longer. And this was perfectly clear from this ruling.
Mr. Attorney General, since the judge dismissed 6 charges in the case against President Trump, including the central charge surrounding Trump's call with the moderate squish Brad Raffensperger, if Fani continues, just what kind of case is she going to have?
Well, it was already weak to start. I mean, this whole racketeering theory is very, very specious and not founded in the law. I mean, it's a case that she took a bunch of pieces and parts, tried to put them together in an overarching conspiracy. It just doesn't exist. And so this case is going to be a slog for her, and especially now that the court has told her that your credibility is shot with me and I'm not going to take anything you say at face value. I mean, it's going to be a real challenge. But, you know, sometimes there's just not, as it currently stands, this judge was pretty clear, there's just not the tools to do what he was being asked to do. But it does not mean that this may present itself in a different way, in a different motion. And he uses that, what he found in this case, as a basis for better relief in the future. So I don't think this is far from over if Fani stays in the case.